Buenas tardes a todos los presentes y a todos los que nos siguen en YouTube. Bienvenidos a este coloquio extraordinario, que en esta ocasión tenemos el honor de recibir al embajador de Pakistán en México, quien nos hará una presentación sobre políticas de uso y monitoreo ambiental de agua en presas. Entonces, comienzo presentando a nuestro invitado. Él nació en 1969, es licenciado en Geología. Ingresó en el Servicio Exterior de Pakistán en 2001, en donde trabajó en la sede central como oficial de protocolo entre 2002 y 2003. Después fue subdirector en 2005, director en 2009 y 2018, y luego fue director general de 2018 a 2020. Permaneció en la Comisión de Servicio como director en la Secretaría del Presidente de 2009 a 2011. Desempeñó funciones diplomáticas en misiones de Pakistán en el extranjero en lugares como Doha entre 2006 y 2009, en Londres de 2011 a 2014, en Beijing de 2014 a 2017 y como embajador en Etiopía en 2020 a 2023. Desde julio de este año es embajador de Pakistán en México. Thank you so much, Mr. Ambassador, for coming, and you can proceed with your presentation.
Very sensitive. Just check it. Okay. So I will not touch any wire now. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, in the name of God, who is most merciful and gracious and kind. My name is Shozab Abbas, and I am ambassador of Pakistan. This is Pakistan's flag. Just for your recognition, today's topic, first of all, I would like to thank the organizers and especially my dear friend Dr. Qureshi and his team, those who created this opportunity for me to be here and to address you one of the most important and pressing issue which is confronted to the South Asian region, which is our regions, Pakistan's region, in which 7 countries are located and which is around 20,000 kilometers away from your country. So it may be little difficult for you, my audience, to connect yourself with that part of the world. But I would try to facilitate as much as I can to take you, not physically, but mentally, from here to South Asia. So please ready for your journey and buckle up your belts. The flight is ready to take you to Pakistan. The topic today is a political hydrology, South Asian perspective, with a special case study of Indus Basin Treaty 1960. This is very important, as I just mentioned to you, that Pakistan and South Asia is a country which is located in a semi-arid part of the world, exactly as Mexico is. Mexico is exactly semi-arid, but when you reaches to the Mexico City, it's the elevation which makes it humid, and you receive a lot of rain, and the climate is subtropical rather than the arid or desert. But in your north, the entire north of Mexico up to the United States of America, it is all arid, desert, dry. Arid and desert dry definition according to the geology. Any region which receives less than 5 inches of rain annually is called desert. I don't know, we in Pakistan uses British system. So in the British measurement system, we use inches. So here might be the other one, millimeters or centimeters. But 5 inches of rain, if it is coming from the sky to any region, it will turn into a desert. This is the definition. So I will show you a little bit for your explanation, that for your understanding, that this is a line, dotted line, visible to you all, is called the Tropic of Cancer. It is located in the northern hemisphere. So northern hemisphere line, which passes at the 22.5 degree, is called Tropic of Cancer. And you see your Mexico is exactly located here. And also if you take it to the here, it touches Pakistan. So climatically, we are in the same zone. But the second factor which changes the climate is the elevation. So if you go from here and reaches to this point in the north of Pakistan, it is higher than you. We are about 20 to 28,000 feet from the sea level. Whereas your elevation in Mexico City is around 2,000 meter from the sea level, which is only 7,000 feet. So ours is 20 to 28,000 feet. So you can well imagine. The tallest mountains of the world are located here in Pakistan, India, China, and the rest of the world. So I just wanted to revise your knowledge that Pakistan and Mexico climatically falls in the same zone. So it is not different for you to understand what I am explaining to you. Am I clear? I want that you people, especially the students, should learn it, should imbibe it, and should produce their own knowledge, how the words, how the different natural resources, especially the water, has been playing an important role in international economics as well as international politics. So it's a subject, today's topic encompasses 3 major sciences. The one is international relations, second is hydrology, and the third is our political system or history. So it's a combination of 3. With the result of these 3 combination, I would like to explain that what has been happening in this part of the world, which is called South Asia. I'm deliberately slow in my speech so that you people should clearly understand what I'm saying. Clarity is more important than my lecture. So this is exactly the South Asia. It has 7 countries in it. Pakistan located at the extreme northwest of South Asia, and then the entire territory around 70% is covered by India, and then there is a Nepal, a small mountainous country, and further smaller Bhutan, and then this is a deltic region called Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka in the southernmost point. So these 7 countries are called South Asia, and there is an association by the name of South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation, SARC, which is the representative of this region politically, but unfortunately for last 10 years, since there is a regime in India, this body is dormant, sleeping. Now, from South Asia, I'm focusing on Pakistan. Pakistan is neighbored by, in the north by China, in the east from this point, or rather if you start from this point I will further explain how. So this line, which is going on from here to end this point, it is 2,700 kilometers long border with India. So India is our largest neighbor. And in the north, if again you see from this point to this point, it's around 2,000 kilometers, is Afghanistan. And China has a small portion, it's around 600 kilometers. And from this end to the Arabian Sea, it is 758 kilometers is Iran. So by this definition, we are also the part of Middle East and part of Central Asia. So we are the melting pot of Pakistan is a melting pot historically and civilizationally. Central Asian country, you can call it. South Asian itself, it is. And then the Middle Eastern countries. 3 cultures, 3 civilizations, 3 lifestyles you will be witnessing in Pakistan if your plane is landed in Islamabad. Do I think that you are in Islamabad now? As I mentioned that this is a flight which is taking you to Pakistan. Do you think that you are, do you feel that you are in Pakistan now or not? Okay. So this is our geography. And in this, there are 2 territories which are very significant and will come in my further slides. This is called Jammu and Kashmir. This is dotted area and is a disputed territory between India and Pakistan. Now, this is very important map. Pakistan came into being on 14th August 1947. And this map is before 1947. You will see 2 colors in it. One, the yellow, and the other is red or pink. Yellow color is the territory which was taken over by the British Empire, by the British government before 1947. So it was colonized. India was colonized in 1857 by their commercial company named East India Company. East India Company landed here in Bengal, Calcutta, in 1757. So they landed here in 1757, and in 100 years struggle of colonization, they completely colonized this country by 1857. So 1757 to 1857, 100 years period, very strong, powerful, robust struggle by the colonizer to colonize India and take it into their lap. But the pink colors, which is shown on this map, are the territory controlled by the princes of this country. Prince, the, what you call in Spanish? Huh? Principalo. Not by the British Empire, but I was the prince of my territory, so it's my territory. I have my own people, I have my own economy, I have everything my own. So it is called Principalo. So all these, the total number of these Principalos at that time before 1947 was 321. So you see the pink color, it is further divided into smaller territories, and the total number 321. They remain independent. British could not control them, but had an agreement with them that we will not interfere into your affairs, but you will be loyal to me. Yes, sir. So there was a relationship of yes, sir. No interference from outside. But the yellow color is directly controlled by the British government. In each provinces, they have their own governors, they have their own administration, and they run the whole country. And why it is considered as a whole? Because the most important in entire India are the two provinces. One is called United Provinces, UP, and the second is called Punjab. Even today, UP is the largest province of India in terms of population. And you know how much population it has? Anybody? Any guess? How much? 30? Okay, anybody? Just an idea? 300 millions. So you can see that this territory still now has a 300 million people. And then this Punjab. It is now has a population of about 200 millions together. So the number of population is a very, very important. And why it has such a large population? Because it is very, very productive land. You just throw anything on it and you will see that it is grown. It is grown. So technically and financially and politically, UP, Uttar Pradesh, now it is called as Uttar Pradesh. Earlier its name was United Provinces, but exactly with the UP, sign UP, it is now Uttar Pradesh. Uttar means north, Pradesh means territory, northern territory. And Punjab, which is divided between India and Pakistan. Punjab means Panj. Panj in Persian is called five. Yak, Du, Se, Chahor, Panj. Panj, Ab. Ab is water. So the land of 5 rivers is a Persian word by the name Punjab. Or the Persian says it Punjab. It's the most important. You will see now next. A very dangerous man. Very, very dangerous man. He was the one, you can say it, a gentleman, or you can say it a dictator, or you can say it a robber, or you can say it a anything you can call him. The worst word for robber in Spanish? Cratero? Cratero. He is the gentleman, the British, very Lord Fishers. Yes, never bow down his head down. No, the British would not allow anybody to put down their head like this. No, your head should always be like this. And it should be with iron neck. He was iron neck man. The one who is responsible for the division of India. He is the man. His name is Mr. Radcliffe. Cyril Radcliffe. Full name. And he came only for 6 weeks to India. Look at how the colonial powers play with the colonies. They do not care about people. They do not care about their welfare. But they always present a card that we are your well-wishers. I want to see you smart, healthy, employed, fully empowered person. This is what they put on their facade, on their front. But underhand, they had black people, dirty people. No need to take care of them. Give you a ruling. And 1 second ruling goes for centuries with them. So he, the man who stroke 1 minute action, is continued till today with us, and it is our contemporary history. What he did, he partitioned the two provinces of India. I will once again show you. This is Bengal and this is Punjab. These are the two provinces, very, very critical in the entire geopolitical history of India, because these only two provinces were divided in 1947 and became Pakistan. Why Pakistan? Because there was two nations living in India. One, the Hindus, religiously speaking, Hindus, and the second, Muslims. Before 711 AD, there was no Muslim in India. But in 711, the first contingent of Muslim scholars and Muslim merchants landed in India, here in this part. And they started preaching about Islam, which came in this part. So this is Arabian Peninsula. From here, they have a very direct linkages with this part and turn this territory gradually, slowly into Islam. They did not fight any war with them. They were all saints. They were all Sufis. And they said, we will accept, no worries. And Islam is the religion which says that there is only one God. And the God is kind and most beneficent. So you should worship only that one God, which is unseen to us. We cannot see him with our own eyes. And his message is revealed through a series of prophets. Among them, the first was Adam, and then Abraham, and then Moses, and then Jesus, and then Muhammad. And now, after Muhammad, the series of prophethood is closed. He was the last prophet. And there are the evidence how I would accept that he is a prophet. Evidence is the book. Like the Moses has 10 commandments. He has a book given by Gabriel to him. And he showed to us. And now we turn to Jews. Those who accepted those teachings became Jews. And then the second series, Christ came. And he said, I also got a book from God, Torah. And read this Torah. It will bear out, it will testify the previous book on Moses. And now this is the new edition of the divine guidance upon all of us, and accept it. So we all accepted and became Christians. You are, alhamdulillah, the Christians. And then the third edition of that book came up by the name Quran. And Quran revealed by Gabriel on Muhammad. And he also showed to the public that this is my book given by God. So these are the three editions of the same reality, that there is no God but God. So that is behind the dollar is also written, there is no God but God. Or we all worship, all these three religions worship the same God under the guidance of our prophets. So this relationship established from here to this region, which is predominantly Hindu. And Hindus also believe in the oneness of God, but they say that there is a manifestation of his character in different shapes. So they have put a lot of idols in their worship places and saying, this is Agni, this is Ganesh, this is Prithvi, this is something. So they, by these titles, they recognize the characters of God for the one who is called Om, or the God. Understand? I'm not boring you. You people are very silent. Okay, anyhow. Now, next, so this is very important. the man is responsible for the division. When he divided these two provinces, Bengal, he gave this blue color to India and green color to Pakistan. And then in Punjab, he divided this line and said this Punjab is West Punjab, given to India, and this Punjab is East Punjab, given to Pakistan. But this demarcation has this disputed land territory between the two Punjabs. Why it is disputed? Because all these regions were predominantly Muslims. And the division of these two provinces were based on the principle of majority population. If you are from Muslims, you will be the part of Pakistan. If you are Hindu, you will be the part of India. So that was the premise of our division of these two regions. So we believe that this green part, which should be the part of Pakistan, was not given to Pakistan because of this buffer zone, which was a mixed population of Hindu, Muslims. And in this Punjab, a third religion also exists, which is called Sikh. Long beard, big turban, and they, in their religion, they cannot cut or they cannot shave human hair. All body is full of hair. So the hair is their tradition to keep. They believe that nothing should be detached from your body, what God has given to you. So that is their belief. Now, after having this this historical background, I will now take you to the reality of hydrology in South Asia. If you see this entire Indian subcontinent, you will see the blue lines. This is the main river called Indus. And Indus is also one of the mightiest river in the world. Although it is not very long, but it is very ferocious. And it all starts from China. This is Chinese Tibetan Plateau. And from here it starts and enters into this territory and then goes all around Pakistan. And if you understand the word Hindu, you need to understand the word Indus. It is in Urdu or in Hindi, we call it Sindh. And from Sindh, the word derived Hind. And Hind is India. So Indian civilization is based on this river, which is called Indus River. And because of, by virtue of a dominant Muslim population, it becomes a part of Pakistan. So this is not acceptable to India. That my identity is gone to Pakistan. Whereas this identity should always be with me because I am Hindu. And then there is two other important rivers, which is called Ganga, or in English we call Ganges, and Jamuna. This is Jamuna. So these two rivers, in Ganga, the Hindus' tradition is to go and take bath, and once you are take bath in Ganga, all of your sins are cleaned. You have no sin. So that is a Hindu tradition. This is a purest water on earth. But the name India or the name Hind, it has three names, or rather four names. India is an English version. Hindustan is a Persian version. Hindustan. Hind is a Hindi version, and Bharat is a Sanskriti version. Now this Prime Minister, Mr. Modi, is declared that India should not be called as India, but Bharat. Because Bharat is the ancient name. And the civilization of this region belongs to 5,000 years old. We are the children of 5,000 years old civilization. So you can well imagine that the tradition, the culture of our region is so grounded deep into the soil, like any big tree. So this hydrology has a very important linkages with the politics of our region. I don't know at what time I started. But anyhow, so this Indus River or Sindh River has a huge catchment area. Huge catchment area. Look at China, entire Pakistan, a part of Afghanistan, and also India. So the water which is coming in this river system, in this basin, is all divided between the two lands. Very from a close focus, if you want to see that there are mainly, this is the Indus River, which is emerging from China, enters into Indian Kashmir, then enters into Pakistani Kashmir, and flows throughout Punjab and Sindh and terminates at Arabian Sea. It has 5 branches, big branches. If you go and see these rivers, you will be horrified. It is such a large rivers. And one is Satluj, the second is Ravi, the third is Chenab, and the fourth is Jhelum. These 4 rivers, 1, 2, 3, 4. And on this western side, there are so many small rivers, but among them, the biggest is River Kabul, which is coming from Afghanistan and enters into Pakistan. Again, further focus, if you all these hydrology, it emerges from the northern part of Pakistan, which is called Kashmir. Now you see there are 2 parts. One is yellow and the other is this light green. This light green and pure green, this is under the control of Pakistan, Kashmir. And this yellow is under the control of India. And this grayish color is under the control of China. So this territory, which is called Jammu and Kashmir, which is the source of all of our waters coming into our territory, emerges from this area. So you can say that the water which is being received to Pakistan first originates in China, then flows in India, and then enters into Pakistan. And one branch of it comes from Afghanistan. So there are 3 plus 1. And that is why these 3 countries plus 1 are the most critical element in determining the hydrological potential of these 4 countries. After this partition of India and Pakistan, immediately on 14th August 1947, India said, I'm not giving you your water. How can we live? Why? How can he control it? Because the headworks controlling the gates of water built by the British were all put in Eastern Punjab, which I showed you the last slide, that why this buffer zone is important, because in this area, the water controlling channels of these rivers were placed here. So British deliberately, intentionally gave these areas to India so that India may control the headworks and stop or release water according to their own choice to Pakistan. So immediately on 14th August 1947, within 30 days time frame, India blocked water. No water is coming to Pakistan. And Pakistan immediately rushed to India, please open these gates because my people are hungry, the people are unable to cultivate the land. He said, no, sorry. What's your condition? Give me money. And at that time in 1947, our pockets were empty. There was nothing in it because we were very poor at that time. It was just the beginning of our history, a new country. So India forcefully said, if you want water, pay us. Then we agreed to pay water. But within 1 year, our money also drained out. We said, sorry, we don't have money. And the people of all this land are the farmers. Currently, its population is equal to Mexico, 110 million. And this has 30 million population. So this country, the most important, this part remained water for about 1 year. And then we paid, and then finally we said, let's settle down this issue. And immediately on that time, American experts, water experts, by the name Mr. Lilienthal, the chairman of Tennessee Valley Authority, and the chairman of the World Bank, Mr. Eugene Black, they both visited India and Pakistan. And they said that if India would not release the water to Pakistan, Pakistan's huge population will die down in 2 years' time. And the whole land will destroy. So we immediately started consultations with them, and it took about 10 years. From 48 to 60. So it was a period of 12 long years to keep on negotiating with India and Pakistan on water issue. And then what happened at the end of the day? So many different formulas came, but again the same formula which this notorious man has given to us. Divide the cake. There is a cake, you have to divide it. So a unnatural way of this ecosystem which is produced by this hydrology has to be cut down like a cake. And we handed over these 3 rivers, 1, 2, 3, to India. And the rest of the 3 rivers, 1, 2, 3, were given to Pakistan. So this is called Indus Basin Treaty, 1960. But the 12 long years of this very important treaty came very critical for the geopolitical history of these 2 countries. Because we fought 3 big wars. Immediately in 1948, then in 65, and then in 1971. In 1971, India took away this part of Pakistan, which is now called Bangladesh, which was earlier East Pakistan. So in 25 years, the rivalry between the 2 continued, and finally it ended up the separation of East Pakistan from Pakistan and became Bangladesh. Very big blow on the territorial integrity and sovereignty of Pakistan, unfortunately. And now I will sum up this whole story. This is just the mentioning that 3 rivers were given to India and 3 were given to Pakistan. One of the students started yawning. It means the attention span is finished. And my lecture is also finished. And in that whole scheme of working, the total water which is available to Pakistan is 130 million acre-feet, and to India, 33 million acre-feet. Those 3 rivers produces 33 million acre-feet of water. And to Pakistan, it got 135 million acre-feet of water. But unfortunately, India started violating the territory. It was decided in the agreement that these three rivers are mine and that 3 rivers is yours. And thus, you, meaning India, would not work on the 3 rivers given to Pakistan. And Pakistan would not ask India to give water from the 3 rivers which we have given to them. But in violation of that treaty, India has started building these red dots showing that India is building its own dams on those allocated rivers given to Pakistan. So the water is being stored by India into new dams on the rivers which were given to Pakistan. So that's a new dimension of our conflict with India. I can show you that how this water diversion is actually taking place. This is the dam, this is the river which is allocated to Pakistan. It's called River Jhelum. But here in this area, India is making this tunnel in the high mountain zone and diverting water, because this is Indian territory, to its own Wooler Lake and then releasing water again to that river. So this whole territory is being benefited by the water, which is actually the water of Pakistan. So it has a diversion schemes, various diversion schemes on different rivers, which are allocated to Pakistan. So Pakistan has raised its hand and said, please stop it. He said, no. Then we took this matter to the International Court of Justice, and now the matters are under judicial discussion at that forum. You can see here, Mr. Modi is saying that water, blood and water cannot flow together. This is a very recent statement by the Prime Minister of India. He says that Pakistan is causing bloodshed in India. Thus, we will not give you water. Earlier, they were saying that we will not give you water because you are not paying. Once we paid, they said, okay. Then we went into negotiations and signed the treaty. After the signing of treaty, they started building their own dams on the rivers which are allocated, given to Pakistan. And now he is saying that blood and water cannot run together. We fought 3 wars. 48, 65, 71. And when the army of Pakistan determined that it would not finalize anything with these wars, we finally built our atom bomb. Now, after America, United Kingdom, France, China, and Russia, Pakistan and India are the 2 atomic powers. Why they are atomic powers? Because the friction between the 2 is not going down. And the only reason for this is the one point, last line. India has not accepted Pakistan as a sovereign state. And they still believe that Hind and Sindh is the part of Hind. It cannot be Pakistan. So there is a tug of survival between the 2 countries. And unfortunately, this is the most populous land on earth in terms of per square kilometer people, India and Pakistan. India has a 1.3 billion people and Pakistan has 230 million people. So altogether 1.6 billion people. But if the Prime Minister of Pakistan say, push the button of atom bomb, it will destroy not only India, but also Pakistan. And if the Indians say that I am going to push the dam, the bomb, it will not only destroy Pakistan, it will also destroy India. So practically, both countries cannot use atom bomb for winning the war. So it's only a bully dog who, beware, go away. So it is just a deterrent, political deterrent, nothing for use. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for your nice presentation. Now, floor is open for questions and comments.
I'm more interested. I can talk more if my throat is not giving me problem. But I think the questions would more important to understand this whole geopolitical and geohydrological consequences in our region.
So thank you very much for the insightful talk. I didn't know many things about the historical background, so thank you very much for coming. I would like to ask you, if you have so many citizens, you must have a lot of water residuals. So have you, do you have some like national program to use the water residuals? I mean, like to produce energy by biomass or to do like, to obtain energy by
Water?
By water?
Yes. I will show you. I deliberately did not explain it to you. This is the storage of water in our system. We have 3 dams, Tarbela built in 1976, Mangla 65 and Chashma 71. All together have a water capacity of 15.6 million acre feet. And the combined effect of this production of electricity, Pakistan is here, and we produce, this much energy. Our installed capacity is 35,000 megawatts. And out of that, 31 is coming from water. So we are well using it, but it is still has the more potential even to generate 50,000 megawatts. Because the highest altitude to the lowest, there is the slope of very high gradient, very high gradient. So if the water falls on that gradient, we can generate and we can produce electricity more. But this is the minimum. Electricity generation by water is a very expensive business because a one dam construction takes at least 10 to 15 billion dollars. And the completion time of any dam is not less than 10 years. So 10 years with 10 to 15 billion dollars is needed to construct one dam. So we constructed 3 dams, and now the 4th dam is also under construction. But it's a long and a very tedious business. You have the dams, big dams on Rio Grande, and one small dam on the river. The other river ends in California, Baja, California, Colorado. So these 2 rivers, but your major dams are on Rio Grande. But Rio Grande is coming from United States of America, which also has a huge water reservoirs on that river, like Hoover Dam, Mead Dam. All these dams are passing through the same territory in which the Pakistan and your country is located, meaning desert areas, and dry, very dry. All is fed by the snow-capped mountains, and when the mountains are melted, this water is produced. Please.
Question here?
Excuse me. I think that what Betty meant was that if you have any water recycling plans to solve, well, not really solve, but more like confront your problem of water.
Yeah. Water cycling is not very much in Pakistan. It's a developing country, and there is a need to build water recycling plants so that the wastewater can be used for further agriculture and other usage. But as long as our setup, no, very few. Maybe we could recycle 1 or 2% of our water. So it's a scientific, this is a point where scientific intervention, scientific help, scientific equipments and technology may be needed to put into Pakistan and to recycle water.
My question is, what are the relationships at the border? Do you have people living on both sides that recognize as neither Pakistani nor Indian?
No, it's not like that. Mm-hmm. Either it is Pakistani or Indian, but yes, population is living on each inch of India and Pakistan. You will hardly find any inch in these 2 territories, in 2 countries, where there is no population. Even in the desert, our desert is one of the most vegetated desert in the world. Desert is located here. What happened? Yes. This is desert region here. In Punjab, this area, and then in Sindh, all this area is called Rajputana, or in India, it's Rajputana, but in Pakistan its name is Thal and Thar. So this is a big part of Indian desert, and the world's most heaviest vegetated desert is this desert. Why? Because there was a river, one river, which has now been diminished here. This river, which is called Satluj River, was one river exactly at the border of this territory, which called Kakra River. That river is now gone underground. So its overground flow is finished over a geological time, and now it has been gone underground. And because of the high water content, this whole desert is the greenest desert in the world, because the underground seepage and underground water availability to the plant kingdom, so plants can survive very easily. And that is why our desert is even very highly populated among the deserts of the world.
Okay, Anna.
Thank you for such a nice talk. I would like to ask you about, in regard to this boom of the bottled water, how is it going in your country? And also I want to ask about how you make use of how you use water rationally in Pakistan due to this scarce of this resource. Yes.
First word, border.
The bottled water. This boom of bottled water.
Bottled water.
Yes.
So what is bottled water?
I mean, how has it been going in Pakistan? Because here in America, well, in all the world.
Look, the problem
so
is, I got your point. Yeah. The rivers which is full of water, and in the total system we have 135 million acre feet of water. If Pakistanis, water planners, want to use this water for the human consumption, they can use it. But the problem is, for human consumption, you need to lay down the pipelines. That is the fountain, or that is the river. On the river banks, you have to put the water pumps. Water pumps will suck it, and then there should be some filtration process. And after filtration, you will have to supply the water to the public by pipeline. Am I right? That pipeline is very costly business. And unfortunately, we do not have that in much of our rural regions. But our big towns like Lahore, Karachi, Faisalabad, Islamabad, Sialkot, all these regions have that. But the excess of clean drinking water to people of Pakistan is not more than 40%. 60% of the people rely upon their own water pumps with hand, and they pull it and drink it. But otherwise, the water resources which are available to Pakistan, that can be done. So now this business, in fact, the commercial entity of the bottled waters, like Nestle, which is one of the biggest company in the world, they have put huge amount of money into the system and saying, no, this is not a drinkable water which is coming in the lane, in the canal. This water is the real pure water. So the commercial effect of clean drinking water by the multilateral companies is much, much more than the poor governments which are supplying to their people. Even if the government said, my water is very clean, you will not believe it. They will say, no, it is not clean. Why? Have you ever tested it scientifically? No, I don't have the testing machine or testing kit at my home and can say that the water which is coming in this water tap is clean. Oh yes, Nestle is saying right. So that is all the commercialization of water. And that has been done by big multinational companies. And Nestle, I would not say something bad words, but is the notorious organization in the world, supplying the cheapest into very expensive. For example, my last posting was in Ethiopia, and Ethiopia is the world's second largest coffee producing country. And the coffee bean which they are producing is sold in only 0.46 cent per kilo, whereas the 1 cup of coffee which is sold at the, what you call this, kya naam hai inka? Starbucks and this and that, $10. So you can well imagine. The poor farmer, the grassroots man is crushed under poverty. But these rich people, having the muscles, having the power, having the money, they are looting all of us. And in the name of commercialization, our eyes are all closed. Only we believe in our ears that whatsoever the information is coming is correct. But if you go scientifically, you will find the dirtiest of the dirtiest coffee is being processed by Nestle. And the refinest of the refinest coffee is laying on the floor. Everywhere in the world. So the world economy is actually controlled by the multinationals. And second, the impact of media, commercialization is so deep that the people from communication department can well understand that how these actually poisons our mind, and then they win the hearts of their customers to buy our thing and don't go for the cheap sources.
Okay, thank you. Any other question? Here or there?
Recently, when was it? Last year or 2 years ago, massive floods in Pakistan.
Oh, yes.
Was Punjab affected by it? And if it was, what was the reaction of the Indian government? Were they solidary, or they took advantage to negotiate more things?
Good question. First of all, the Indian reaction on that flood was very good. Pakistan is underwater. So the both countries have a same feeling for each other. Any problem comes to their land, happy, because they are in trouble. There is no sense of cooperation between the two countries. This treaty is the only treaty in the world which, despite having 3 big wars, despite having the dismemberment of Pakistan in the form of creation of Bangladesh, and despite having the explosion of atomic bombs in the laboratory, this treaty is not shaken. That's very important. So understand the strength of this treaty. And this treaty is taken in the global politics as the most resilient treaty in the world, which is serving the most ferocious arch rivals of each other, having the nuclear power. Despite having the nuclear power, the treaty is intact. Why? Because water is such an important issue, that the two countries cannot survive without that water. They can survive without having the atom bombs, but not with the water. This was a statement given by the World Bank President Eugene Black in 1958. So I would say that the flooding in Pakistan, it inundated about 1/3 of the country, first time in our history. And that is the reflection of the most devastating climate change effects in our region, because the entire region of our north is high mountain ranges of Karakoram and Himalaya. And that Karakoram and Himalaya receives huge amount of snow in winter. And that in summer, the temperature of this region goes up to 45 Celsius. So with this effect of heat, that big amount of snow melts down very quickly and fast. And then it rushes to the lowland areas of Punjab and floods it. So whenever there is a heavy snowfall in the north, it turns into a heavy flooding in the south. So we now often face this problem, but the climate change effect and phenomena has badly affected the ecology of that, ecosystem of that region. And now we are one of the big sufferers.
Okay, thank you. Any other question or comment?
I want to ask about the relationship of Pakistan with Afghanistan and also with China. As I see there that Pakistan share a river with Afghanistan.
Yes.
And also, as you explained, the main river of this area is born in China.
Yes, very, very important question. First, Afghanistan. Kabul River, which is the mainstream of Afghanistan, actually feeded by Pakistani rivers. So the Pakistani river by the name Chitral River is a main tributary of River Kabul, starts from Pakistan, enters into Afghanistan, merges with Kabul River, and then re-enter into Pakistan. So it's a kind of, this block. From here to Afghanistan, again Afghanistan, back to Pakistan. So that is the system, hydrology of that territory. And in that territory, we have no agreement with Afghanistan. How to regulate water. So till last 10 years, meaning till 2010, there was only one dam in Afghanistan. But now Afghanistan is building new dams. And one dam is under construction with the support of India. So India is actually supporting Afghanistan and again, trying to disturb the whole ecology of that region. But we cannot deny Pakistan as a sovereign state that Afghanistan does not need energy and Afghanistan does not need water usage. It needs because its population is also growing, and especially in and around Kabul. So there is a need, dire need, to have a good understanding of water distribution between Pakistan and Afghanistan. So at this point, I have no question, no doubt in it. And second was the part China. So China, unfortunately, the rivers which originates in China remains in a very initial stages of rivers. In initial stages of rivers, if you see the geomorphology of that region, you will see it's just a stream which is fed by melting snow at different points. So that the length of the river which passes through the Chinese territory remains very thin. And there China cannot do anything on that because the potential of water to store is very limited. But when it passes the stages of mountains and enters into a semi-mountainous region, the water volume suddenly increases in it. So that territory falls either in India or Pakistan, not in China. So China directly is not affecting, but China is an important, from the scientific point of view, that how much snow has been fallen in that territory. So the estimation about the snowfall and estimation of the snow melt is very important in that region, and that is under the control of Chinese. So that information. We also have then under the agreement, India and Pakistan are obliged to provide live hydrological data to each other, but they do not do that. They do not do that. They disguise it or they delay it. For example, the water rush is coming, and India is not mentioning it to Pakistan, the huge water rush is coming in next 24 hours. And once it is closer to the border, to the door of Pakistan, it telephones, "Hello, Mr. Pakistan, water is coming." Then we cannot do anything. Water is there. So that hydrological network, essential to be linked with the satellite to monitor the flow of water, is very important. And we are weak in that.
Thank you. Any other question or comment? Here, there?
One last question about China. What is the relevance of these rivers for the new Silk Road, and what is the importance of China in India-Pakistan relationships?
This is you are a well-read man, I know, and so you have the good history in your background. China in 2014 announced the creation of One Belt, One Road as a huge investment portfolio by the Chinese in different countries of the world. And the idea behind is to build an image of the most advanced nation in the world. because the Russian are gone. Americans' money is dried up. If you ask America to give money, they will say, no, we don't have money. There's a very only few pennies are left. So technically, if you see, China has now become the world's superpower. It is number one in both in terms of money and influence. But technically, they are not as advanced as the Americans are. The Chinese foreign minister in one meeting with us in China, Beijing, he said that we are 20 years behind America in terms of our technology. Why? And he gave me example. He said he like this exactly same demonstration which he has done. I will show you. He said, "What is this?" iPhone. Reverse engineering. Yes, reverse engineering, exactly. But the way he explained to the foreign minister of China, he explained to us, what is this? Everybody said, iPhone. What's the price of this iPhone? $700, $800. Okay. Where it is made? Made in China. How much, he asked, now the question comes, how much do you think that the Chinese government is earning money from this iPhone? The question is to all of you. This was the question he raised to us. And now I'm asking the same question to you. How much money China, the value of this phone is $800, is earning out of this $800? Guess. How much? $600. Can you guess? 1%, meaning 800 to 80. 800 to 80, 1%, $80. Anybody else? Huh? Yes, you want? $0.1? $0.1, meaning 1 cent? You are a little stingy. He said to us, we earn only $5. And the rest, $795 are going to America. Why? We are only the assemblers of this technology. The inside it is all American technology. And to produce this telephone, China needs another 20 years. So they are catching up that level of refined technology. But I believe the next 20 years, they will be at this point. And technically, America would not produce better than that in next 20 years. So American progress will go behind, and the Chinese progress will go up. You see? So after 20 years, the geopolitical and geoeconomic situation would be strongly in favor of China than United States of America. So this competition is known to both, because the foreign minister is revealing this information to us live. They are not hiding this information. They are saying that our assessment to reach to the point of American technology, current level, will take next 20 years. So see, but in next 20 years, Americans would go behind. And in next 20 years, they will be at an advanced version of this technology, the most advanced. And in that, they are saying that nobody will have other devices at home except the phone. Everything will be done by phone. Everything. Whatever you think in your life will be controlled and managed by this device. So that is how the Chinese are actually making progress. Am I answered your question?
In the Silk Road?
Yeah. So Silk Road, One Belt, One Road, under that, Pakistan is the most biggest and largest beneficiary of that One Belt One Road, because under that arrangement, China said that we will transfer technology and we will also invest in your infrastructure. So far, they have agreed to invest $50 to $55 billion in Pakistan. And since 2014 till this 2024, they have invested $25 billion in Pakistan to build the infrastructure. And in next 10 years' time, that infrastructure will start producing things which are actually required to the world market. So the foundation is laid down, and now the building is being constructed. So that's how Pakistan is one of the most abundantly benefited country by China. And our policy towards China was framed in 1960s, when in 1962, India and China fought a war. And in the result of that war, which was held in Arunachal Pradesh, in the northeast, closer to the Burmese border, we extended full support to Chinese against India. And then India said that is, now the equation has been matured, and the countries are asking us to get away from China, because China is not a good country. Chinese are very bad people. Chinese are corrupt people. So this propaganda is now being, released every day on television and media. The Chinese are bad people. Okay, if they are bad, are you good? We want to be friends of good people. But you are not showing your generosity towards any other except your own favorites. So China has not given such political trends in their dispensation of technology and money and support, political influence. They say, no, all countries are equal, and I am also a developing country. So under the umbrella of developing country, China has been gathering the political influence. Now the poor people are with China, and the rich people are with America. So it's again the haves and have-nots. So, but the world is full of poor people rather than the rich people. Rich people are only 1 to 2%. 98% people are poor. They're just eating and drinking. But the people, those are showing power, wealth, 2%.
Okay, any other question or comment? Claudia.
Is last question. You should announce that. No. You can ask. How many?
Sorry, a short question. What about the health of the rivers? About the pollutions, especially pollution, and what kind of fauna, commercial fauna, lives here in these rivers?
One, you are saying the pollution in the rivers,
and commercial fauna.
Commercial
fauna, fisheries, about the fish.
Okay, farming, cattle farming.
Cattle and fishing activities.
I don't have much knowledge about that fishing from the rivers. You can say yes, but pollution is a serious problem. Why? The population pressure on these rivers is immense. So on the right side or the left side of the banks of these rivers, from top to bottom, a huge number of people are living. So if people are throwing their garbage, untreated water, refusals, everything into the rivers, you can well imagine the quality of rivers. So the quality of water in these rivers is very poor. Poor to very poor. Not good to very good. From poor to very poor. And for that matter, our conscience or our understanding about the environment is very poor. People are just making their ends meet. They are thinking about their bread and butter. They're not thinking about the quality of water. So that's the result of lack of knowledge and the impact of poverty, it's very immense. So I would not say, even the Ganga river, which is this most sacred river of India, on which they dip and say that we are now out of sins, is the dirtiest river in the world. Dirtiest. You cannot smell it. So you can, this is all because the whole territory from East Bank or West Bank, East Bank or West Bank, East Bank or West Bank is full of people. So when millions of people will throw their garbage into rivers without processing it, you can very easily imagine the quality of water. So I would say the quality of water, both in India and Pakistan, in their rivers, extremely poor. But fishery, I don't know. Fish would also be disturbed because of the pollution. And they cannot live in that unhealthy environment. So you can say the catch of fish, if one unit of the fish should be around 100 kg, in such environment, it would not be more than 20 kg.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Ambassador, for your nice
My
talk.
honor, and thank you very much.
Muchas gracias a todos.
I will ask one question.
Yeah.
Do you enjoy the lecture?
Yes.
Those who enjoyed raise their hands. So it means good people enjoyed it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Muchas gracias a todos por asistir. Nos vemos el próximo martes en otro martes de coloquio. Provecho.